In a time where everybody has a podcast, leave it to a woman who literally has the world on a string to jump in and continue the trend. Khloé Kardashian has launched her own podcast called Khloé in Wonderland. Why? Because she can. The podcast, which really is just a video, defeating the point of the origins of podcasts, which are meant to be consumed as an audio art form, features the Kardashian star in deep conversation. Now, timing is everything. And perhaps launching the debut episode amidst the horrific Los Angeles wildfires was ill-timed. But here we are, analyzing the content of episode 1 of the reality star's latest venture. To kick off her new series, Khloé has invited longtime Keeping Up with the Kardashians leech Scott Disick as her first guest. Why? It's hard to say, but one might have to assume it's the desire to have some good tea spilled, and to help promote that new season of the Kardashians. To be fair, the video version of Khloé in Wonderland is connected to the streaming series YouTube account. The question still remains of all the people that Khloé Kardashian has access to. Why did she bring on Scott Disick? It's because their friendship is truly baffling. The origin of Khloé Kardashian and Scott Disick's friendship. The episode begins with Khloé Kardashian letting Scott Disick know that he's the first one to sit across from her in her attempt to be an insightful podcast host, only to pull the rug from under him and warn that he may not be the official first episode. Why is this important? It leads to the banter that they have developed since Disick started hanging around the family. As a refresher, Disick dated Kourtney Kardashian between 2006 until 2015, in which they have 3 children. Disick only appeared on this podcast because he doesn't appear on other similar formats, because he doesn't want to be questioned about the family. But guess what the two are doing? Talking about the family. After whining about the state of podcasting, they continue to leave the world with headline fodder that is bound to be twisted. Their discussion isn't so much a deep dive into Scott Disick's life, but 2 pals palling around. Khloé Kardashian spent the episode trying to clarify her relationship with the father of her sister's kids. She called him her brother. She referred to him as one of her best friends, which is all valid, until they divulged the evolution of their bond. The younger versions of Khloé and Scott had some tension when he was first coming around, but when she referred to him as the king of reinvention, it was clear she has a strong respect for his growth. Like any figure in the public image, the pair has been questioned about their closeness. Khloé revealed that Scott was her #1 person as a potential guest. Why? Because everyone wants the juicy tea regarding whether they had ever hooked up. They took the bait and joked about it. Disick sarcastically said, "F yeah," before she set the record straight that they hadn't. Again, going back to that headline fodder that is about to get twisted, Khloé claimed it had been strange that the rumors tied the two as a couple. He said, "I don't think it has any truth to it, so they just run with anything. Just like, oh, look at their relationship. They're close, boom. Let's just say something ridiculous," he said. "And then people with us, because we get along well, people are like they're soulmates. Like, bro, I have children with her sister. We're not soulmates." Focusing on Scott Disick and Khloé Kardashian's friendship appears to be a distraction. The extended family members have had their ups and downs, but maturity has brought them closer than ever. They have spent years trying to diminish the perception that there was ever an intimacy between them. But perception is reality, especially when there are cameras in your face, both by force and by choice. Yes, they have a platonic relationship, but there will always be something deeper. As individuals who have lived in the tabloids, it's expected. Don't want those rumors. Don't hold hands in public. But for a family that is controlling and calculated when it comes to public image, being arm in arm can't just be a coincidence. Was it all a prank for publicity? Even though Kourtney and Scott have moved on, they are still co-parents, which means Aunt Khloé is still a part of Scott's life. Even though he doesn't always get the invite to the family functions, they have supported one another publicly and on social media, which will always continue to fuel any questions about the nature of their friendship. Yes, they have a relationship that seems to be rooted in sarcasm, but when he brings up on the podcast "remembered when we wrestled," alluding to a story about when they were partaking in childlike behavior in Versailles, it's just causing more confusion why these grown adults would engage like that. But don't worry, it was to name drop Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's pre-wedding party, when Khloé then reminds us in the story she was drinking as she was going through a divorce, again, not helping the rumors. Oh, and this was not the first time they've done this. However, the next story was about wrestling through anger. That's different, right? So, what was the point of having Disick as the premiere guest? It certainly wasn't a deep dive into his illustrious career. No. Perhaps it was to dispel the rumors. Perhaps it was to claim that she got the Disick exclusive. No matter what, she's got us discussing it in their friendship. The record is set straight. They are not a thing. They were never a thing. They just have a friendship that is just pretty damn close. So close that this was not their first foray into podcast. Oh no. They did one in a bathtub when podcasting wasn't cool and wasn't a visual ploy. It didn't last because they lost the equipment. Nevertheless, here was the soft launch for the Lord and his lady. Podcasting is just not for everyone.